So I'm going to run through this question Barnabus rock as I would do it if I got it on an exam paper. So it's question 1 there at the end of your chapter 5, and it was what I asked you to do for homework this week. So if I was to say to you then, the first thing that you're going to do is you're going to have a look at what your requirement was. So here it said that we were to prepare the income statement and we were to prepare the statement of financial position, and that's exactly what we're going to do. So imagine you had this question on the sheet in front of you. Now I've said to you before, it won't be exactly like this because you will have some adjustments to do, but nonetheless the principle is the very same. The first thing I want to say to you is when you go to your exam, just to be prepared. And one of the ways that I would be prepared for your financial accounting exam is that I would have a number of highlighters with me. Now, in this case, I would highlight the items that are going to go into the statement of financial position, and I would highlight in a different colour the items that I want to put into my income statement. Then, when I actually had them entered onto whatever it was that I wanted to do, I would actually tick them off. Okay, so I would have them highlighted. I would know what's going into my statement of financial position. I know what's going into my income statement, and when I've actually used it, I tick it off because I must use all of these numbers in order to I have to use all of these numbers in order to make sure that my statement of financial position and my income statement are correct. Okay, so in this case, I have highlighted all of my statement of financial positions in yellow, and I have highlighted all of my income statement items in green. Okay, now, so that's the first thing that I would do if I got this in the exam. Then I would go ahead and I would look at my answer booklet, and I would put down my template that I remembered because I learned it off very carefully for Tina on chapter 5 week. I would be very carefully writing out my template for the income statement and the statement of financial position. Okay, so I have done that. I'm just going to click back here. Click back here, and I've done here. I have my income statement, and you remember I said to you that you may not need them all. So I think we don't have sales returns in this instance and so on. You may not need them all, but if you remember them all, write them out. It only takes a minute or two to write out, so write them all out and then fill in what you have and just put in a 0 for what you don't have. Okay, so that being the case, I'm just going to make this a little bit bigger, and of course I'm going to have to use this inventories figure at the end as well. So I'm just going to make this a little bit bigger. We know what we've been asked to do, so really I just want to be able to see these numbers. Okay, so I'm going to make that as big as I can while still keeping it on one page. There we go. I think we can see everything there now. Okay, so I'm going to start off. As I said, I've got my income statement for the year end, and I'm going to pop this up on Moodle for you. I've got my income statement, and you can see that I have all the different bits and pieces in there. Okay, and I've got my statement of financial position, and I've got all my different pieces in there, and now I'm just going to slot in those numbers. Okay, so in this case I'm going to start with my income statement because I know that I need my net profit figure in order to make things right on my statement of financial position. So I'm going to do that now. So I want you to have that page open in front of you so that I don't need to keep flicking back and forward. So I'll have it in front of me, you have it open in front of you, and you'll be able to see where I'm getting all of the numbers from. Okay. So in this particular case, I have sales, but I don't have any sales returns. Okay, so my sales returns is 0, and my sales figure is 162,964. Okay, now I've put in my formulas to make this add up for me. So it would be this one minus this one would give me my net sales. Now I'm going to have a look at my cost of sales. So opening inventory. In this particular instance, I don't have any opening inventory. Do I? No, I don't have any opening inventory. So there I go. Do I have any purchases? Yes, I do have purchases. I have 118,694 is my purchases. Okay, I don't have any purchase returns. So again, I'm putting in my 0. And I don't have any carriage inwards. So I put in a 0. Okay, so the cost of goods that are available for resale is the total of those items there. Okay, less the closing inventory. Okay, so closing inventory in this second case, I'm just going to pop back here so you can see this one. It's down here on the, there it is, that figure there. That's our closing inventory. Inventories were valued at 31 of August 2017. So 24330. So you would watch for the closing inventory and you deduct that closing inventory here. So the closing inventory figure is 24330. Okay, and we know that that's a minus, so when I'm getting my cost of sales figure, it would be cost of goods available less the closing inventory, and that would give me my total cost of sales. Okay, so my gross profit then is the net sales of 162,964 minus the cost of sales, which is 94,362. Okay, and again, how did I get cost of sales? Opening inventory plus purchases less purchase returns plus any carriage inwards, and that gives me the value of the goods that were available for resale. But I didn't sell them all because I had some closing inventory, and the value of that closing inventory was 24330. So the cost of sales then is the cost of the goods that were available less any that were left over that weren't sold. Okay, so cost of sales is 94,364. So my gross profit is net sales minus cost of sales. Okay, and that gives me my gross profit there. Now, did I have any other income in this particular case? Let me have a look. No, I don't see any other income. So I had no other income, so I'm just going to put in a 0 there. And that means that the total income in this particular instance was 68,600. Okay, now when I go back to, so I would start with expenses here and I would leave some spaces. Okay, and when I went back to my trial balance, I would look at the names of the expenses that I had. So here I have salaries, motor expenses, rent, insurance, and general expenses. Okay, so that's where I would, when I was filling this in, I would put in less expenses, I would leave a few lines, and then I would have like a total expenses line, but I would leave a few lines there and fill them in from the trial balance. So in this case, I've got salaries, motor expenses, rent, insurance, and general expenses. So I'm going to put in some numbers for those. 50831 for salaries, 5581 for motor expenses, 2610 for rent, 985 for insurance, and 771 for general expenses. And that gives me a total expense of 60779. And as you can imagine, I need to take my total expenses off my total income in order to give me my net profit. That's the figure that I wanted because I need that figure to come off into my statement of financial position. So I'm going to go top and double bottom there. I'm just going to make it dark. So I like my gross income figure to be highlighted. I want my total income to be highlighted, and there may or may not be other income here. And don't forget that discount received would go in there in the other income section. I list all my expenses, I total them, and I take my total expenses from my total income, and that gives me my net profit. Okay, so let's say I'm happy there, and do you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to go straight off into my statement of financial position, and I'm going to put in that net profit figure. So I'm just going to copy that net profit figure. I'm going to go out here, and I'm going to get my net profit figure, and I'm going to put it in here.